ultimately it ends up being, well, I'm going to do what makes me happy. And if humanity... But men don't ever even really get that choice. Men are like, well, the world needs to be built. Men don't get value just from being cute. Like, you guys could do nothing. You could just sit there, and every word that comes out of your mouth could be absolutely R-worded and be totally good for nothing. And as long as you're cute, some man is gonna love you and pay your bills and give you whatever you want and do whatever he needs to do to make you happy. Men don't have that. Men have to provide value, or nobody gives a about them. And even when they do provide value, people still don't give a about them. And have always been expendable. They're always going to be expendable, according to the world. That's just how it is. So men know, like, well, if the concrete needs to be laid, I'm gonna lay the concrete. If the power lines are down, I'm gonna go outside and like figure out how to get them back up. And don't have this idea that there's no duty for them and that their life is just about them and what they want to pursue. It's just not like how the male mindset works. And the way we raise women now, it didn't used to be that way.
Crikey, what a state.
I will speak to cheating women. They have such a lack of remorse about it, because this is what women do compared to men. Men usually, when they cheat, they start to feel a bit of guilt, so they're nicer to their wife. They're a bit nicer. They might buy her something. They might be a bit more grateful. Like, you're a ride or die. Like, poor girl. If she knew what I was doing, let me be nice to her. Women, what they want to do to get rid of that dissonance of what they're actually engaging in is they start putting their husband down. They start thinking, my husband's such an idiot. He's so dumb. He's so stupid. So what happens is by putting him down, they feel less guilty about going somewhere else. They justify it in their brain. So the treatment is different. The guilt is greater when a man is cheating on a woman.
And the wheel goes round and round. Guys, we all know that a majority of the people who follow this content are in the modern West. They see the cultural problems all around them, and they understand that there is a moral battle going on every day. And when it comes to the modern women in these places, well, 95% of them, at the very least, are on the other side of it, trying to push feminism like their lives depend on it. But lately, their voices are getting quieter and quieter. Sure, there's still plenty of examples to be found when dudes stay outside seedy clubs with mic in their hands, and yet the vast majority of people don't even seem to be tuning into the sprinkle girl bosses and unhinged rants from single moms. It's like one of those old King Arthur movies where the Knights of the Round Table turn away from the villain, refusing to acknowledge their existence, and then they seem to just fade into the void, never to be seen again. Of course, this doesn't mean they're not still out there. It's just that they seem a lot more like pyramid scheme people, knocking on doors, unable to catch a break. Hollywood movies are hemorrhaging money, their money laundering charities are going down, and the media engine they fed on gets less than the 10% of the attention they once did. Regardless, back to the main point, there's a reason most of the people reporting this stuff are in modern societies, and sometimes I see comments about how men are just choosing to stay single forever, and that makes sense. Of course, no shame in going monk mode. However, it's important to understand, and this is where we get passport bros, it's not that there are no women left, it's that the home soil is tainted.
I already have someone I'm doing. Hey, Kaden, can I get your snap? No, I'm being serious. Can I get your snap? I'm not, it's not a video.
It is a video, though.
But I'm being serious. Can I get your snap? Why not? Can I have your number? Can I give you my number? Can I give you my number? No, like, this isn't for the video. This is like, I'm being serious.
Go ahead, bitch, show out.
I finally figured out how they argued. I'm starting to turn this franchise around. If they're right, they argue the point. And they stay on point and make sure you stay on point until you're down on your knees apologizing. If they're wrong, they go rogue. They start thinking of shit you're sensitive about. And in their head, they just start concocting this evil statement. Hail Mary attempt to make you so mad, you just call them a and trumps all the bullshit they did to start the argument. Now it's not about that one. That's no reason to call me a and then that's it. You're in this room now. Just know this. Next time you're in a battle with your beautiful woman, you're winning, and they just start saying that crazy shit out of nowhere. Just know in that moment you've won the fight. Don't get mad. Bob and weave, slip all of that shit. Let that slide. Stay in the pocket of the argument. The argument is over. You've won. Just take a knee and run out the clock. Lean on the ropes. Let them punch themselves out. And then in the end, you throw their psychology right back at them. Well, maybe we should discuss it later when you calm down. And they won't hook up with you for a couple of days. Who cares? Rub one out like a man. It's the champagne of victory.
Funny. Not wrong, but not exactly right. I'm not going to say the name of the comic because you all know who he is. And although I like the old stuff, he went off the deep end a while back, and his story kind of tissues to the point. For a long time, this man was on the top of the damn world. After he roasted Philadelphia, he went in a tirade, counting down the minutes before the set was over. He was a rising star. He'd talk about the nature of modern women, saying no, arguments about household duties, why first ladies should speak, the whole deal. Now, this was the kind of guy who could have had the world by the horns until his death, but there were parts of his sets sometimes where he'd talk about loneliness, about how he'd like to have a family of his own, the mythical white picket fence outside with the dogs, 2 to 3 kids, and a cigar. It slowly leaked into his bits, not immediately, but slowly. You could tell that he was the kind of man that had a deep need to settle into a life with someone else at his side, and my point here is, he could have done that and come out on top. He just went about it the wrong way. At his position, again, at the height of his career, he had the capital and means to make something stick. He could have spent money to go to a place in the world with hard traditions and general values. He could have even taken her back to the States and made his life up in such a way that he could have had his cake and eaten it too. But he didn't do that. Instead, he decided to plant in his home soil, and through mutual friends, he found a woman that he felt checked enough boxes. And, slowly but surely, she started showing up in his podcasts, giving him a piece of her mind. These were all red flags, but the dude was so conditioned to believe that this is healthy that he ignored them and got hitched. And look, if anyone still likes the guy for what he is now, no shade, you're entitled to your opinion. But nobody can deny that this chick, Yoko Ono, this guy so hard that his comedy and his demeanor have never been fully the same. He fell off, becoming more apologetic to feminists, laying blame on himself a lot more, and isolating himself, only listening to his wife for guidance. He compromised because it was perceivably easier, instead of understanding the developments in modern society that make walking away, at least for something far better, the only option.
If I post a picture online, a bikini picture online, there's nothing my husband can do that could compete with that level of accolade.
Attention.
Impossible.
The compliments,
The
the attention,
compliments,
the messaging, the you're so sexy and beautiful,
Yeah.
and all these different things from thousands or potentially
Around
millions
the world,
of men
around the world.
who have money and all these things.
Yeah, and there's nothing he can do. He can't post online and get the same reaction. And more so, he can't give me the same level of validation. So what's happened is we've created a setup in society that means men have to compete with a level of validation they can't compete with. And as a result, when we get into relationships, if we don't feel completely soothed all the time, he must be a narcissist. He must be a manipulator. He must be gaslighting. He, rather than I.
No, JP! No, you already know the rules. I take a picture first.
Oh my God, you don't have to yell, relax.
You should know by now. Okay.
Golly, man.
Wait. No, I don't like this one. I don't like it. Come on, babe. Come on. Take your fork out. Thank you. All right. Okay. Ew! Why does your beans look like that? Put the food down.
Take my food.
What is your problem?
Oh, this looks so good.
I know. No! What are you doing?
Eating my ice cream.
No, I needed to take a photo. Here, hold it out like this. You know we take a photo first. Stop! I don't like this one. Okay, hold it out.
Sorry.
Okay, now hold it up to your face. Say cheese!
Cheese.
Okay, Edgar in the first half needs to go to the doctor's office, but you get my point. Social media is poison for women, let alone men. Believe it or not, but outside of what I do for a living, I'm on social media for maybe 30, 45 minutes a day. I'm scrolling on X, looking at a couple of shorts and reels, maybe the news, and then I start hustling like a lot of guys out there. But I'm not delusional. I know that even that much is a light addiction. It might not be as exciting to talk about as those rock band biopics where everyone but the drummer goes skiing, but it's an addiction nonetheless. And for women, it's way worse, and that has a lot to do with the fact that they base their values on status and reputation. It's while they'll learn a guy is rich, but refuse to date him because he drives a Toyota Corolla. It's all about the spectacle, and that's why this trend is one of the key things that ruin the soil. It's the first real red flag, and people don't talk about it enough. Moreover, this doesn't just apply to people in the West. It could be in Russia, Istanbul, Antarctica. If a woman has a social media account, it's curtains. And why? Because everything from that point on is performative. The platforms have the ability to turn any woman, no matter her background, into a full-blown actress.
Your best man, you gonna lose your best hitter. What the fuck is that?
I'm doing important research.
Say, for example, like I do like 6 scenes a year or whatever, right? And I'm like dating someone or going to be in a relationship eventually with him. I need to find someone who like that doesn't open a door for him to be like, oh, well, you're people. And like if they do it and then like throw it in my face, like I've kind of had situations like that too. How do I expect someone to not like sleep with other people and do things like that?
Would you continue to shoot your 6 scenes a year while you're with them?
And that's what I'm saying. It's like, what do you do?
But he can't go get any inside.
But for what?
She's doing it for
I'm
work.
doing it for work. It's not like I'm texting people. Like the difference with them and they're probably texting and doing, you know what I'm saying? Like,
what if you knew that
this is professional?
What if he got to pick out 6 girls a year that he got to
I couldn't.
off camera?
I don't know. That's what I'm saying. Like, is something wrong with me? Like, I don't want him to do that.
Yeah, good luck with that. Okay, here's another thing I can't believe I have to explain. Men don't need performers. They need the real thing. In the mind of a woman raised by her phone apps, men are rendered secondary in every way. Just like it was stated earlier, there's no possible way any man, Bezos, Musk, and the King of England can possibly compete with the stream of dopamine hits one can receive after a status update. It's the same reason so many women that already hit the wall, and I mean hit the wall hard, looking a lot like a lizard baked by the sun, end up posting those hilarious TikToks where they talk and talk about how great it is to be free and how happy they are, only for it to end with a good cry when they realize that every action has consequences. But that's only half of it. Even before this kind of thing takes place, which it usually doesn't because men checked out, women will post for affirmation asking where all the good men have gone, so let's get that one straightened out.
Everyone thinks like, OF girls are but like I'm a virgin.
I know. But do you collab with guys though?
Yeah, of course.
Wait, so then how are you a virgin?
Because it's for work. I'm filming. It's like, it's kind of like a tax write-off. You know what I mean?
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't count.
It doesn't count. Like, I've lost track of that. I don't think I can count.
Yeah. Okay, I understand that. So
yeah,
you're a virgin.
but I'm a virgin.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, no.
So what do you suggest the women in the West do if everyone's advice is for men in the West to look elsewhere for a wife? What happens to all the women in the West then?
Well, that one study we referenced that said by 2030 or something, 50% of the women will be without a man. So that's the direction we're heading, because the men that are looking for those traditional values are starting to go overseas, and then the other half of the men are just checking out completely. They don't want to deal with women at all. So this is going to be a big issue that women are going to deal with in the future as their options dwindle.
And that's the crux of it. The flight of the Earls continues, not because all men aren't done with women, they're done with 304s. I've said this before on other videos in the past, but the thing women get the most wrong out of almost anything is the spell they've put on themselves to think they're the ones with the options. No, ladies, no, you are not. If that were the case, all of you would be with your ideal mate at this point, rubbing it in each other's faces. Instead, you look more like a really sad focus group trying to get to the bottom of your empty lives. That might seem harsh, but it is what it is. Women just don't understand the first link of the chain. It's always been men who worked their asses off in museums, offices, construction sites, chapels, and whatever else, finally feeling ready to pick a woman to attract that they can welcome the next natural phase in their life cycle. Then, and only then, do women get to say yes or no. It's really that simple. If someone goes to a grocery store and has some money to spare, hoping to get a bag of beef jerky or something, and everything in the aisle is either empty or half-eaten, they're going to go to another marketplace that can provide exactly what they need. With effort, they've earned the privilege, and they have the freedom to choose where and how they want to proceed. Especially if this, quote, grocery store is full of staff trying to tell you the bags are full and you won't find anything better anywhere else.
So do you want to be a housewife? Like you don't want to work, you just want to stay at home?
Well, I want to be a housewife, but I'll have my fans, so technically
So you're going to have your for the rest of your life.
Why would I stop something from bringing in revenue?
That's what I'm saying. So your daughter is going to be at home, homeschooled, on Zoom with her teacher, but you're going to be getting in the next room by your husband. But do you not understand how that is detrimental to your daughter? A daughter is not supposed to see their mom and dad
Or even if it's not her, kids are mean. Like, they're gonna send it to her. They're gonna send it to us.
And be like, oh, look at your mom.
I'm literally gonna teach my kids to be entrepreneurial and to do whatever.
But that doesn't
the
stop the
entrepreneur
internet.
part. Everyone has freedom to do what they want.
No, we're not telling you to
Labor
stop. We're not telling you to stop. We're telling you, think about the kids aspect, like the perspective of a kid. You may be like, oh, they're gonna have a good life. They're gonna live going happy. They're gonna get to buy whatever they want. They're gonna be able to do whatever they want. We're gonna be in Abu Dhabi every other Christmas. What I'm saying is, kids are like emotional wrecks. They're not gonna see it how you're seeing it. They're gonna be like, oh, my mom is out here doing this,
and then she's gonna do that at a young. She's gonna think it's okay.
Not gonna happen.
Marissa, why are women filing for divorce so much more than men now?
So I really think it's a couple of things. Women now have more resources, more education than ever. So they can go to school, they can get a job, they can earn as much as men, and this means that they are more entitled to be independent and on their own if they're not happy in their marriage. Secondly, there is no societal obligation to stay in an unhappy marriage. If they don't like their partner, sayonara, they go get a job and they become independent. Lastly, I think women overall are just fed up. They're doing it all. They're being the mom, they're cooking, they're cleaning, and you know what? A lot of women now are the breadwinners as well, and they're doing it all and they're getting no help from their partner. And so what is the point of being in a relationship at that point?
There is no societal obligation to stay in an unhappy marriage. There, right there. The clip could have ended at this exact moment, and you'd hear everything you needed to hear. And this is what men are understanding more and more. Women in these areas are listening to women, which never helps anyone. Hell, it doesn't even help them individually. With every location on the planet, women included, there's a description and level of potential for the product. And just because someone chooses to try and change the description every now and then, that doesn't suddenly mean that the potential changes with it. Modern women are basically the living manifestation of that dog meme, where it sits in a burning house and says everything is fine. And you know what? To them, with all of this reinforcement in their minds, it probably is. But logical men aren't going to stand around until the oxygen runs out. And if everything is leveled, they'll sure as hell not going to return to the scene.
Like, what happened? What happened with the chivalry? You see that bar? You see the bar full of men sitting down, literally just watching women in heels stand up. Like,
you want to know what happened? I'm going to tell you what happened. See, what y'all girls don't understand is that when men get online, they actually be paying attention to the stuff that y'all be saying and doing, right? Especially when attractive girls get online and say and do stuff. That's who they be focused on. So every time you see a pretty girl make a video and talk about how she be disgusted when men talk to her when she out, how she don't like it when men look at her, men have conversations with her, don't talk to her. Like, when she makes videos like that, the men are paying attention. When women like that are making videos, the men are paying attention, right? And so they figure, okay, well, this must be what it is. This must be what women want. Right? It don't matter about the women who ain't really that attractive who get online and be like, oh my God, we want you to talk to us when you out. Like, they're not listening to you. They listening to the girls who they find attractive and what those girls are saying, right? So you can't counteract the girls who they find to be attractive and them saying silly stuff online. So back to the point. Because those girls are getting online and saying silly stuff like that, when men go out now, they not hollering at you, they not bothering you, and they not getting up out their seat to let you have it, you know?
Even in bed, I would literally you until you were doubting your sexuality. Like, I feel like my ex literally went gay because of it.
I think she just needs somebody to match her energy. Like, you're just looking for
yeah, but then when they match my energy...
Nah, I don't. I think you need someone calm and mellow.
See, exactly. I feel like I've learned this about myself, and until I find someone that I respect enough to be in my life, it's like, yeah, I'm just gonna be me.
But okay. Will they be down for all that?
See, that's what I'm saying.
Would who be?
Like somebody who's more calm and balanced out.
I feel like it would scare them away.
Yeah.
I think it is very scary. Because,
maybe
like,
they don't want to deal with it.
That's what I'm saying. And you know what? This actually just happened. I had this guy that I was seeing, just not even seeing. It was like we started talking for like 3 weeks. He hit me up at like 3 a.m. when I was in Miami, and he was like, hey, I just Googled you and saw that you did, I don't want this. That was a regular person. And I was like, oh, okay. So I tried, you know, I tried. I also tried someone who did what I did, and I turned them basically. So like There's
a big difference between spiritual redemption and viability. I say this because the woman in the cat ears actually did try to turn her life around in a rare move. She embraced faith, she goes to practice, she has made tons of efforts to be the exact opposite of what she was before. But, and this goes to the ladies, remember, the soil, when tainted this much, still isn't worth exploring. On a moral level, I am someone who believes in the redemption of the individual. That's just me. But that doesn't mean the past sins can be ignored by men. That's up to the man upstairs to figure out, or whatever you choose to follow. But your home is done. Men like a fresh start, and that's the whole point.
Women don't care about men's feelings. If you look around the internet, you will discover that this is talked about quite a bit. It's a real problem that guys struggle with. We had a comment on our Clips channel, and a guy had said something like, talking to a woman about your feelings is like being
in the desert with an empty water bottle or something.
Yeah, it's worse than when you started. I would say that it does echo a majority of men's experience. And a lot of men in relationships have given up, and they're like, I'm just not going to talk to her about my feelings. There's a lot of advice out there that never talk to a woman about your feelings.
And then women are like, no, talk to me about your feelings.
It's a trap.
Yeah. And then men,
Right.
you know, do it and it doesn't turn out good. And then they never want to do it.
I can get that. I must be different because I don't know. I think we're all humans. And even though guys are built tougher, you know, they still have feelings. There's still certain things that they need help going through. Maybe they don't even need your help. Maybe all they need is just a listening ear. And so why can't you be that for your partner as a woman?
Yep.
And if you made it to the end of this video, I want to say I appreciate you. So don't forget to hit that like button, drop a comment to have a chance to be featured, and hit that sub button to approve of our message. And we now have an official second channel, Man Guide Reacts. Link is down in the description. We got fresh content, going to be trying some new stuff over there, so subscribe to that for new content. I appreciate all the continued support, and I want to wish you all tremendous success. See ya in the next one.